or should she like come? Should she go over it again?
Yeah, I got what you said, like tracking your deliveries. Just like the way you can see your Uber driver coming from where he is to where you are. Something like that, right?
If she can go
Yes,
over it again,
exactly.
very sorry.
Okay, so
All right.
do you want me to give like a research background and tie it in together with the brief?
All right, you can do that too.
Okay, so when I was last week when we were talking about it, so I decided to expand it a little bit to say that many businesses we know rely on logistics to help them deliver their packages from one point to another. But we'll find that many businesses are struggling to stay afloat because of persistent disappointment in failed deliveries and delay. So this has resulted in a kind of low sales and poor rate of customer returns and referral, which is necessary for business growth. And this is all because of poor delivery service. So the design brief is just to come up with a future or a full product to help businesses successfully track and manage their deliveries. And last week, I think I mentioned some features such as real-time digital real-time tracking feature, or if the person is offline and cannot access the live map feature, you can have the call the driver feature so that you can know in real time where your deliveries are, such that if there's going to be a disappointment to your customers, you can easily tell them that, oh, I'm sorry, but so delivery is at Ogun State, but in the next 24 hours it will get to you, so that you can easily track it and have a good communication flow between the vendor and the customer.
Okay, I have something to say, please.
All right.
Okay, so I was doing like I wanted to do a case study on logistic, and I was checking GIG. So I found out that GIG have three apps: one for the customer, one for the like logistic man, and a tracking app also. So I don't know, but I think they do have a tracking app also. Is that what you are saying?
Yes, they
Okay.
have a tracking app, but the tracking app doesn't give you a real-time delivery status. It
Oh,
can just
okay.
tell you that they are leaving Lagos, and that status can be on that leaving
Mm,
Lagos point for like 2 days, 3 days. You don't
okay.
know, you don't really exactly know. Maybe in the next 2 hours, where would it be? Is it in Ore? Is it in Enugu? Is it in Asaba? You only get when it's leaving Lagos, when it has gotten to the destination, but you cannot track to say, okay, at this particular point, where is this delivery? You can't track it.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right. So we'll be taking it a step at a time. So let's briefly run through the WhatsApp one. So I'm going to be sharing my screen again, and then I'm going to be pairing everybody in groups. So you're going to be in a group. So please kindly just like be attentive while I'm pairing, because I'm just picking the names at random. She gets so yeah, please confirm you can see my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, I can.
All right. So I've already given us a guide, and that's the guide we're going to be using. So now let me just quickly pair. Um Esther and Iberi, you are a team.
Please,
Um
which of the Esther, please? I think we have two Esthers here.
I'm sorry, Adiolu Esther and Iberi, you are a pair. Busola and Olajuwon. Is this Olajuwon? Aye Ayebi Yele. Yeah. You guys are a team. Chiamaka and Daniel, Christine Daniel. You guys are a
Oh, Miss,
team.
Miss, hello.
Yeah.
It's Oluwaju Edalo, not Olajuwon. Oluwaju Edalo.
Oh, sorry, Oluwaju Edalo. I can't like see the full name. Very sorry about that. I can't see the full name here.
Okay, who am I pairing with now?
Oluwaju Edalo and Busola.
Usola, okay.
All right. You guys are a team. We have Chiamaka and Christine Daniel. You guys are a team. we have Comfy Mama and Divine. You guys are a team. So that's the four first team we'll be using for this particular project. Then the other people would move to the next one. So do you guys I hope you all got the names.
Okay, so those that are not in this team will be in the next team.
I didn't get that. Esther.
Yeah, you said those you didn't mention their names. That means they're not in this team. They'll be in the next team, right?
Yes, they'll be in the next team. Don't worry, everybody will participate one way or the other.
Okay, I'm sorry. So I'm clear. What is the job of these teams?
You get to know. You get to know. So I didn't even know I was muted. I was already speaking. So you get to know. Just know your team member. All right. From yesterday discussion, we got to speak in length about what interview is and how to carry out an interview. And then the to and fro of the discussion was when you are carrying out an interview, it means you need to have a one-on-one discussion with the person you are carrying out the interview with. Now, before you go and interview somebody, you should already have the project you're working on. Um, you don't go for an interview when um you don't have an idea of what you want to work on. You understand? Unlike survey you can have an open-ended question to actually get what you want to work on. But for interview, it is best that you already know what you want to work on. Now, what we want to work on is the WhatsApp status. Yes, the WhatsApp status, the ability to block yourself from viewing other people's statuses, something like a mute. You understand? So now for this case study, there is already a solution, which is the mute button. But now we're going to act like we don't have a mute button, and we're going to validate from ourselves if that is really actually a problem. We're going to validate from ourselves through the interview if our problem statement really is a problem. Now, I gave us, a brief guide, and this is how it's going to go. One person will be presenting, will be will be interviewing the other person. Understand? And you're going to be using those guides. You're going to be using those guides, and then you're going to like carry out a proper interview with the person. Now, the first guide is starts with an introduction. Now, while you are trying to interview somebody, the first thing you want to do is introduce yourself. Like I said yesterday, let them know who you are. Tell them where you are working. You understand? Make them comfortable with you, basically. So while you've done that, then the next thing you want to do is give them a grand tour of the project. Let them know what the project is about. I get me. So now we're just going to having a practical class, a very interesting and swift one. So in the space of 5 minutes, those teams are going to be interviewing the other person. You are a team of two. You're a group of two. So one person will be interviewing the other person. Now, I want to believe we already have the problem statement. So for now, I want Esther. Esther was the one who came up with that one, and Igwiri to go first. So Esther, I want you to interview
Okay, sir.
Igwiri. You would
Okay.
now what you want to do in an interview, what you are doing, what you're basically doing in an interview is validating your problem statement. Are you getting me? You already have a problem statement, which is the need to stop other people's data. I mean, other people's statuses, to stop yourself from viewing other people's statuses, right? So now you want to validate it. You want to confirm from this person if the person is also having a similar problem, because
Okay.
the higher the number of people that have the problem, the higher your probability of entering the market. Are you getting me? So
Okay, sir.
from these guides, you're now going to interview. Are you getting? Start interviewing. So if you are not getting something wrong, I might want to like interfere and then tell you how to do it, and you understand. So the first
Yes,
thing
sir.
you want to is, before even the introduction of yourself, you need to confirm if the person uses WhatsApp, because if not, there is no point. So are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Esther and Avery. Avery, are you there? Are you ready?
Yeah, yes, I am. I am.
All right. So you guys have the floor now. Start.
Okay. Good afternoon, Miss
Good
or Mrs.
afternoon.
Please, how can I address you?
Just call me a berry.
Okay, thank you very much. Miss Ebere, are you familiar with the app called WhatsApp?
Yes, I am.
Do you make use of the WhatsApp?
Yes, I do.
If I'm going to rate your usage of the application 1 to 10, how often do you use the WhatsApp, please?
I will go for 9.
You'll go for now. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, please just give me like a few minutes of your time. I promise not to take much of your time. My name
No
is
problem.
Adelu Esther, and I'm carrying out a research. I work for the Thomason Product Design. That's where I work. And I'm trying to carry out a research to know user experience, how they feel when they make use of WhatsApp.
Okay.
Particularly, I want to know how they feel regarding viewing status on WhatsApp. Are you
All
with
right.
me, ma'am?
I am.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. I want to know regarding WhatsApp, what problem or how do you feel when you view status on WhatsApp? How does it make you feel? What's your experience?
Okay, I'm viewing my viewing status on WhatsApp sometimes. Sometimes I don't view, sometimes I just like go through it like just to, because especially when it's I see that the status, those people that uploaded their status is much. So
Okay,
sometimes I don't even go there at all. The only
okay,
time I go there is when I notice probably a friend or someone is celebrating or doing having a birthday, and I just go there to wish or upload my own status. So sometimes watching that amount of people upload status, and when I go there and I see it, discourages me from even opening any.
okay, okay. So you said the volume of content on status discourage you from using the feature of viewing status
Yes,
at.
yes,
Okay,
of
ma, are
viewing
you
it.
aware that there is a mute button on WhatsApp and have you been using it?
Yes, I am aware that there's a mute button on WhatsApp, but I only tend to, should I say, um, I block some, not all. I don't use the
Okay,
mute button, but I just tend to block some people
okay.
from,
Okay.
yes,
So, ma, from your explanation, you are saying that the mute button is designed in a way that you can't restrict all your contacts from either viewing your status or you viewing their status. Is that correct, ma'am?
well, if that is what I don't, I've not personally, I've not. Okay, I think no, it doesn't make you mute everybody at once. I think it makes you
Okay.
mute one user
At a,
at a time.
okay,
Yes,
okay.
so it
So if
depends
you
on. I'm with
okay, are you
you.
with me?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so if you have a feature that is going to allow you to restrict your status at a time, would you be willing to use it?
Sure, I will.
And how would that make you feel if you can restrict all your status at once?
It won't. It since it won't be like an everyday thing. Sometimes when I feel overwhelmed with it, I can. It will make me feel like okay, good. Let me use
Okay.
that word. Yeah.
Okay. So okay, let me try and break this down a bit, Miss Ebere.
Yeah.
Let's assume that we have a WhatsApp that is designed with an on and off status feature
All
that you
right.
can turn on and off at your will. Will it in any way make you feel okay that you're using the app? And when you feel like viewing status, you on it and your status load. And when you don't
If
feel like viewing status, you off it and all the status load. Bear in mind that they won't be able to see your status as well. Are you okay with that?
definitely I am. I'll go for it.
Okay. But I want to know, aside the overwhelming, does the status make your phone hang? What exactly do you use WhatsApp for?
Well, it doesn't really make my phone hang. Probably I've not noticed it. The only time my phone hangs is when the memory is full, when I
Okay.
need to like delete some things. So I've not
Okay.
noticed if it actually makes my phone hang. I've not noticed that aspect of it, but it gets
Okay.
me overwhelmed. That's the only thing I can point
Okay.
out of it. Yeah,
Okay. Sorry for taking much of your time. I'm
no
rounding up soon.
problem.
I want to confirm as well. Do you feel that status makes you use more than the data you intend to use.
Yes, it does, especially when there are lots of people uploading videos.
Okay. So to conserve your data, you would appreciate if there is a restrict button or feature from viewing status.
Sure, I will.
Okay, thank you very much. Do you have
You're
anything
welcome.
you might want to tell me regarding
N-
WhatsApp?
No, 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 none.
Yeah. Will you be willing if I can contact you in case I have any further question to ask? Would you be
I
willing
will.
to? Okay,
I
thank you
will.
very much, ma'am. Thank
You're
you, Mr. B.
welcome.
Thank you for your
Thank you
time.
too.
You have a lovely
Thank
day.
you. Yeah, and you too.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. It seems like Esther already have a professional background and she's coming here to disguise for us because that was too clean. That was not for a beginner. Esther, that's a very nice one.
Thank you
And
very much, sir.
what's I want to just ask one question. Now, what's from that interview you had right now? What okay, don't let me ask you. I want to ask Divine. Divine, from the interview that just happened now, what have you deduced in relating to the mute button?
Okay,
Divine, are you there?
what I've deduced relating to the mute button, according to the conversations, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Loud and clear.
Okay. According to the conversations, I deduced that um WhatsApp already has a mute feature. But the issue is you can't mute everyone at once. Just mute um per status, like per person. You can go for one mute, go to the next mute, go to the next mute. So I think I don't know the name of the other person that was interviewed. She wants a feature that helps her, just one button to put it off when she wants, turn it on when she wants. When she turns it off and comes back on, whatever stuff she finds there, she goes through if she wants, and she can choose to turn it off if she also wants.
All right.
And also deduce that while she turns it off, others can't view her own status as well.
All right. Um, I want us to now reminisce on something. Realize that initially we had a problem statement, and initially we already felt like the problem statement already had a solution. Now, this is what happens when you carry out researches, especially interviews. Now, before you go for an interview, like I've said, know what you want to work on. You understand? Already have your products you want to work on. Now you already have the product. Now she interviewed. You realize that when you are carrying out your interview, your problem statement gets to be defined. You now have a more defined problem statement. From the interview Esther had with Ebery, you realize that okay, Ebery realizes that there is a mute button. She realizes that she could use the mute button, especially when she's overwhelmed by the WhatsApp statuses. But she felt like using it, you can only use it like for one. You understand? If there was a button to do exactly what the mute does, but in a way that just turns up everybody's on at a time, you can see that from the interview you've like revalidated and redefined your problem statement. This is the need for a problem statement. Divine, your answer all.
Okay, yeah,
Divine.
I wanted to ask. Okay, probably I'm missing out a point or something. I noticed that in the problem statement, we said we are assuming that WhatsApp does not have a mute option. But I noticed in the interview, it was said that WhatsApp had that. So the interviewed person being interviewed was just being asked if they are aware of the feature. So I don't know. I thought we
All
were
right.
assuming that there was no mute at all.
Yes, that was the initial plan, but I was not the one that interviewed. I felt like Esther already had her plans. It's like she was already ready for this class. So she carried out her interview in a way that, okay, we already have the mute. You understand? Let's use the normal convention. We already have the mute, but this time around, would it still make sense if we already have this mute and then we are bringing something else that work exactly like the mute, but this time around it takes off everybody's own instead of you doing it one after the other? Do you get? That was what happened. That was what I think Esther did for us. That's what Adeolu Esther did for us. Do you get?
Okay, okay. Because personally, okay, I'm not just trying. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to say something. Because personally, there are some people, and I know we all have those kind of people on our status list that we don't like seeing status from them. It's either that you're posting rubbish, or they always post something that doesn't sit well with us. So I don't want to meet everybody. I want to meet people like you. Your head not correct. I meet you. I don't want to see your status. So I was just thinking aloud.
All right. This is the problem. It's not a problem. This is something you tend to come across, especially when you're working in team. And I'm actually liking this conversation. Esther, okay, your answer.
Yeah, I want to say something about the problem statement. I think she didn't join initially. Last week, I said when I carried out a research, people started saying their displeasure when it comes to inability to turn off their status. One particular respondent said, due to the fact that she had a lot of contacts, it makes her WhatsApp to start hanging and she can't use the application very well, giving her a bad experience. So she said if there could be a feature that would just turn it off, so she won't be able to view it and to use a WhatsApp freely without any logging out or logging in, or having to install and reinstall the app. That's one user. One said he's not really interested in the status because he uses WhatsApp strictly for business. So if there's a way that he can turn it off without viewing it, it will be better. Then another respondent noted that it consumed data. We not be all of us get money, and we are trying to manage our resources. So if there is a way that she can just limit our data usage, it will be okay. Why some say even this status, according when I was carrying out the research, she found out that this status download on our phone, even without our knowing, without you clicking, they automatically download, thereby creating a space without us actually clicking the status. But if there is a feature button that can turn it off, it won't download automatically on our phone. And if you want to turn it on, you turn it on and you view it. And if you want to turn it off, it goes off as well. I'm just trying to redefine that problem statement again, ma'am.
Okay, yes. Sorry, I wasn't in the last class actually. So, but now I now get what you're saying. But I want you to also have an idea of where I'm coming from. So, like me now, I don't turn everything off. Me, I like viewing status when I'm bored. I just seeing how people are having fun and cruising. So, I think if you have a feature that turns everything off at once, you will still have a problem, because some people like me, and I know I'm not only one. We are numerous. Some people
Definitely.
want it to be on, but I don't want I don't want to be seeing status of some people, but I want to be seeing that of others. So I want to selectively turn people's status off. Do you get it?
Yes, I do.
So that feature will now have more, like it will be, how will I put it now? How you can there's an option for shutting everything down. So I think you should have an option for shutting everything down, or you can
Or
selectively
selecting.
pick those people you don't want to be seeing their status. All these people that have chain, all the chain status that have 300. I don't know how they do that thing. So you can turn those people off. Then for
Yeah,
those
I
that
get.
you're interested in, then you can now allow, like, let yourself see their status. So
All
that's
right.
it.
In this
This,
explanation
this
now,
is
I feel in designing that on and off button, we can have where you want to turn it off completely and when you want to select. Remember, there's a mute button, but that is just one at a time. So we can be designed, Mr. Thomason, in a way that you can turn everybody off, or you can select to turn off some completely and just leave some.
Do you
I don't
know?
know.
Do you know how you want to delete a message on your phone and you see mark all and
Yeah,
select? So you have
yes.
something like that.
That's a
uh,
proposition for how to create a solution, ma'am.
Okay, you guys have turned this to a brainstorming section, which was not initially meant for. Okay, Miranda, please, can you be
So
so brief
sorry.
because I've not even done. Miranda, go on, Miranda.
Yes, okay. I think
All right.
you see when you are on Instagram, you are able to create a friends list, a private friends list. I think that maybe that might be the solution for this, so that, for example, when I save my mechanic's number on my phone, it doesn't appear on that list, so I don't get to see his. So only those who have made it to my friend list, will be able to see, will be able to show me the status, like that private list that I have. So when I'm saving your number, I'll be able to, categorize the contact into, don't show, or so that I don't get to see anybody. I think that might also be one of the solutions for this problem statement.
All right. All right. You guys have turned this to a brainstorming section, which is very nice. Now I can see Esther's hand up again. Okay, Esther, before you go on, let me just quickly say this. While you are doing your generative research method, which would include survey interview, you would the main point of it is to make sure you are building something that really, really matters. Now, as Divine has said, I might not want that status. You understand? Now, this is now left for you to carry out a large survey. You understand? So before you even open Figma and start stressing yourself, ensure that larger number of people wants this. Are you getting me? Now, the larger number that wants it, like now you see, Miranda already gave our opinion on, okay, this is how I think you should go. The other person has given, this is how I think you should go. This is how it works in real life. Are you getting me? This is how it exactly works. So now when you guys are grouped into team, you see this back and forth brainstorming. Don't worry, you will have enough. In fact, more than enough. And people will be tired. Esther, go quickly.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, the session has been lovely. Brainstorming is seeming really nice. I just wanted to ask a question because I think that's where I'm having issue with. Now, I thought the whole idea was we had a problem statement, which I can't remember her name, the person that gave out this problem. I thought we had a problem already, right? A problem statement, sorry, and we knew what we wanted to do. I thought the whole idea was to just carry out the interview and ask them what they feel about this thing we're trying to introduce. I was thinking that was the idea. Or better to say the other way around, where you know there's a problem, but you want to ask them, what can we do to solve this problem? Is that how it works? I
All
guess
right, that was what I was about to say. I was about to give comments on how Esther carried out our interview. All right, Esther, as I've said, she did a great job, just some little fine tuning. Now, she did a great job of um ensuring that the person is a user. That's number one. She did a great job at introducing herself. That's number two. Number three, introducing the projects. She did a great job at that. Now, but there was something I noticed. You gave leading questions. It's like you were leading everywhere in a way. It's like answer the questions. You were now that's something you should mind because you might try and put words in her mouth. I get me. There was a kind of leading on. It's like you were leading on. You spoke about the mute button. When you're having an interview with somebody, you'd imagine you don't know anything. Like take the person, let the person have more of the flow. I get me. Now, okay, you're asking Iberi, do you use WhatsApp? Yes, okay. What if there is a feature that does this and turn off audio? What do you think about it? I get me. When you ask the person what they think, the person will now start. Okay, this is what this and this and this are what I think. Let the person ask like massive flow. You realize that when you do that, it might be everywhere that will now talk about the mute button. But there is already a mute button. I feel like there is a mute button, but okay, this is what I feel. Can you now ask her okay, what do you think about the mute button? Is it the solution to this problem? You understand? Once she answers, you're not supposed to let her narrate how she has used the mute button in the past. And from the narration, you'll be able to differentiate why this new feature is different from the mute. Are you getting it, Esther? So that is exactly
Yeah.
how the interview should work. The other Esther, your hand is still up. Do you still have something to say?
Sorry, I think that was a mistake from my end. But I think yes, I think
All
you
right.
didn't really answer my. I think I was actually asking you a question as much as I was also directing it to Esther. Whereas Esther did a nice job, by the way. You did so well, our lawyer. So yes, I was actually asking you a question, and I'm not sure you answered my question. My
All
question
right. Go
is
over it.
okay. My question is like I'm confused about two things. Is it that there's a problem statement, like we have a problem, and at the same time we already have a solution to the problem, like we know what we want to do, but we just want to carry out this interview to ask the people what do they feel about this thing we're trying to do? Is that how it works? Or
Yeah.
is it that there is a problem and you want to ask them what they feel should be the solution to the problem? That's what I'm asking.
Okay. Now this is how it works. Thank you for that question. I actually didn't get it at first. Now, remember I said as a product designer, you must be user centric. Now, your problem statement, the statement is just grammar. You understand? Your problem and the problem statement is just something you feel is a problem as a designer. I get me. As I've told you, as a designer, you realize that some certain things will now come like naturally. You now view some things, you now open some app and you start seeing some things because as a product designer, you'll be exposed to so many applications. You understand? You start exploring so many applications, so many websites, so many designs. So it is easy for you right now to now like spot something that could have been improved. I get me. So now that already gives you a problem statement. You're right, like, okay, this is a problem. I feel like can be solved. I get me. Now, when you have a problem statement at the back of your head, you already have a solution. I get me, Esther. You already have a solution. Okay, what if we do
Okay.
this? I get me. So, what if we do this? Now, as a product designer, you now have to realize that you should be user centric. I get me. Now, you might go about the
Okay.
right thing the wrong way. I get me. Or you might even be going a wrong route because of the target audience. So what you want to do is hear from the people that use the app. I get me. Now, what might have happened if you don't carry out interview and surveys, you might end up building something that will be a solution in reality, but your user do not understand how to use it. Are you getting me?
Okay.
You might end up building something that is what the people want, but the way you've designed it is not a way they don't relate with it. It's not a way they don't understand it. So you realize that apps like that people don't use them. Are you getting me? So that is the
Okay.
need for now carrying out your survey. You already know what you want to do. Are you getting me? You already know how you want to do it. Now, the more you carry out survey, you realize that those things will now get structured. Are you getting me? What Adeolu Esther already had at the back of her mind was a button. Just click on it and leave it. When other suggestions start coming up, it's like something is like, I don't want to just turn it off. Like I don't want to turn everybody off. I still want to view some people. Like there's some people are my regular customer, I view them every time. Why not do this? Why not do that? Why not? You realize that the design you have in your head start getting more and more structured. Do you get that?
Yes, yeah, it's making so much sense now.
All right. I just want to pick somebody who will volunteer. Let me just quickly run through the interview of this same WhatsApp, and you can pick one or
Yeah,
two.
I volunteer, I volunteer, I volunteer.
Won't you be giving the other teams
I
expo for
volunteer
their
to.
interviews?
Oh, that's true. I'll be giving the other team S4.
So probably let other people
That
run
is,
through and not give the general.
do you actually have the time for everybody to run through this interview?
I'm actually looking at it and it does not look like
I don't think
we
it's
have.
possible.
No, if we if
All right.
we no if we strictly give everyone a time and not do so much expansion after they are done, then generally you can now Tomisi can now give us like a general review. It's good to let people have the feel
Better.
of these things.
So I think why don't you give it as an assignment? They can carry it with this supposed person and make your record and drop it in the group chat instead of having to go through it on this live call.
Wow. You people like to do a lot of brainstorming. I think I will have to rush Chiki to creating the group. Chiki, are you here? Please do fast in creating the group. You need to create the group fast so we can have more brainstorming section, especially in the group. Okay. Okay, I think this is what will happen. Chike will create the group. We'll continue from there. And then the whole brainstorming section will now work. I think we'll now start giving each group a topic, and then the practical aspect to just go on. And so you guys will now have to like meet on your own, have a call, or however you want to do your brainstorming, have a brainstorming, have your interviews, and then so one group can now interview the next group, another group can interview the next group. I think that's how it works. I'm looking at the time now, and I think not everybody will be able to do that. I've always been hearing lady's voice. It would be nice if we can, is there a guy in the house? So maybe the guy will just go next, and then I wrap it. Oluwajuedalo, are you there?
Guy in the house.
Yes, I'm here, actually.
All right, so Oluwajuedalo is here. Is there any other guy?
I also have a guy's voice, so I can act as a guy.
I'm a guy.
Okay.
Are you serious?
What did you say? I didn't even hear that. What did she say?
I have a
I'm
guy's
a
voice,
guy. I'm a
so I
guy.
can act as a guy.
Can you imagine Oluwabukola acting like a guy right now? So all of you see,
Everybody wants to
God,
say something.
God. Don't let me even go that route because you people just murder me. Okay. Juedalo, I think
2 minutes to each group won't hot now. I don't know. 2 minutes to each group won't hot.
Okay, let's see how it goes. Juedalo, I think I paired you with Busola. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Juedalo, this is what you do. I hope you understood the problem statements.
Definitely.
Okay, so Juedalo, you'll be interviewing what's her name, Busola, and then you see let's so you can have the practical session. So Busola, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right,
Okay.
Juedalo and Busola, you have the floor.
Tommy, before we proceed, the problem statement is still the same thing as the WhatsApp issue, right?
Yes.
Okay. Who is the interviewer and who is interviewing?
You are the one interviewing Busola.
Okay.
Busola is the interviewee. You are the interviewer.
Sola, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
All right, both of you have the floor. Starts.
Okay. Good
And be
afternoon.
cautious of time, please.
Definitely. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
What can
Very well, thank you.
What's the name?
My name is Busola.
Okay. Busola, I am Ayebile Khalil Oluwajuedalo from Tomisin Designs company, and we are trying out a project where we need an idea and let me say some sort of user's experience, and I will be happy if you can spare me some of your time. Can you gladly do that for me?
Yes, I'll be glad to.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank you very much for
You're
giving me your
welcome.
time. Okay. First of all, I would like to ask, do you know any app called WhatsApp?
Yes, I do.
You do, okay. And how often do you use the app?
Almost every day of my life.
Okay. So before asking how often you use it, do you know anyone that use that app?
Yes, a lot of people.
A lot of people. Okay.
Yes, like
Okay.
98% of my contacts use the app.
Okay. App. Okay. And you said you use it most of the time of your life. On the scale of 10, Or let's say on the scale of 100, on the scale of 100, how often do you use it on the scale of 100?
You mean daily?
Yes, daily. Yes.
90?
And say wow.
Yes.
So basically, you use WhatsApp the most.
Yes, I do. I do.
You don't shuffle around other apps, social
Yeah,
media
I
apps.
do. I shuffle other apps, but because I communicate well with WhatsApp, I connect well with WhatsApp. That's why I use WhatsApp most of the time.
Okay, thank you very much. The next question is this. I want to ask, how convenient are you with your WhatsApp? Like, how convenient do you find WhatsApp?
Very convenient in that I can easily chat my friends and family up. I can easily make calls with my data, like saving my airtime, and I can talk for as long as I want. Anytime I want to talk for a very long time, I use WhatsApp. Then socially, I like seeing people's videos as much as I don't upload pictures. I hardly upload status. I like seeing people's status like um I like catching cruise like Divine said. I like catching people's status. Yeah. And many other
Okay,
things. Yeah.
definitely that means WhatsApp. That means WhatsApp takes most of your time. Like you spend your whole time on WhatsApp.
Yeah. Like is an app that takes my
I know
time,
it
not
does not
like
distract
all of
your
my time.
business or any other. Yes, I understand.
No, it doesn't. Not
Uh,
at all.
I-
Okay.
okay. Are you aware of a feature on WhatsApp? A feature called WhatsApp status.
WhatsApp status. Yes, I do. I'm aware.
Okay. And how often do you view or use the feature?
Like I said earlier, I don't upload status. I don't upload status on my end, but I view people's status often. Like not all my status, not all the status I see on my updated status I view, but I view most of them.
And do you find all content convenient?
Mm, no, it's not all content that is convenient. Um, most times I don't like videos. Most time,
Okay.
yes.
And why
I
and
just
why
like
don't you like and why don't you like viewing videos?
because sometimes it hangs and it goes to the next um person status most likely that I do not want to view.
Okay.
Whenever it
Okay.
hangs like that, it bounces to the other person's status. Probably I don't want to view the person's status, so it bounces to the person's status. So most times I don't like videos.
Okay. Now, that thank you very much for that question. That question will lead to the next because there is a sort of connection. Now, you saying you don't like viewing videos, I want to
Okay.
ask: is it the case that does it have anything? You've given your reason, but in a way, don't you or don't let me ask a leading question, but don't you feel it connects you to your people? Don't you feel? Because you don't like viewing other person's status. However, don't you feel you connected to your people? As you
Okay,
said
the
earlier on that
people
WhatsApp.
the sorry. Okay. The people I don't view their status, they are people I have less connection with.
Okay.
It's not everybody I have everyday connection with or maybe often connection. There are some people I don't usually talk to.
Alright. Okay. I can see some they are showing us that the time is up. But the last one now, I need to ask you.
Okay.
There is also a feature on,
Okay.
let's say, sub feature under WhatsApp status, which is muting. Are you aware of
Okay.
that feature?
Yes, I'm aware of this.
And how often do you use it?
I don't use it at all unless someone offends me.
So that means it is when it becomes personal that you.
Yes.
But for those who you feel less connected with, don't you feel it is usable on them?
Yeah, I do, but I don't think it's necessary, actually. I don't think
This
it's necessary. If I view it, fine. If I don't view it, I don't go through the stress of muting their status.
okay. Thank you very much. So, do you have
Oh,
anything to say, like a general opinion on this?
Um, Nothing really. WhatsApp is a very good app to use. I like WhatsApp. It connects me to everybody I want to talk to. It gives me, it brightens my day. Anyways, it brightens my day. It makes me talk. It makes me connect to people.
All right. Thank you very much, Busola, and I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. I
all
don't
Thank
know.
right.
you.
All right. You guys did well. A round of applause for you people. I don't know if you can hear my clap, but that's very nice. Okay. I was supposed to ask people, but because of our time, what I noticed from Joedalo's conversation with Busola, realized that Busola was very comfortable. So you can see that okay, Joedalo really, really passed on that place, really passed on that mark. Like he did well.
Yes, it
Busala
is.
was really comfortable talking with somebody she didn't even know. You understand? She's not even seen. Now that's the first thing you need to do. Now, what Joedalo could have done better, and there was this other thing he did. He didn't ask leading questions. He made everything she said. He now continue asking on it. I get me. Continue asking on it. Continue asking on it. Now that is the best way to go. Now, but for situations where that approach would work when you've booked in like a session with the person. Okay, I want to interview you. Will you be available? Yes, and the person, probably clear up their time for it. Now, what Jordan could have done better because he has done a best job. He has done a very good job. But if I'm to score him, I'm going to like give him 90 over 100. But what he could have done better to like improve the whole conversation was to let her know what the project is about, which is the second thing. Give them the grand tour. Now, without the ideology of the grand tour in the person's back of the mind, you would realize you'll be going back and forth in a conversation. You realize you won't be able to hit the hammer on the head. I get me. What Jordan Law did was made her comfortable, introduced himself, made her know that okay, I'm somebody you can trust, don't worry, open, like, and then she started flowing. She was really, really flowing. What would have made it perfect was if he had given her a grand tour. What Jordan did was I work in this place and that was that. I work in this place, my name is this, and I would like to ask you some few questions. Do you mind? And she said no. You understand? After that, she was supposed to go, all right, she's already comfortable with you, right? You're supposed to go, okay, now we are about to build an additional future and we want to confirm with people if it's actually a worthy future from WhatsApp to WhatsApp rather. Now what we want to build is an a future whereby you can easily turn on and turn off your statuses. I'm sure you don't understand that, but along the conversation, I'll be able to explain better. All right, how often do you use WhatsApp? Do you get that? Now the person already knows that okay, you are talking about WhatsApp, but you are being specific about the part of WhatsApp you are talking. You're not talking about the call log, you're not talking about the chatting, you're talking about statuses. So at the back of their mind, they would now focus more on status because you've mentioned it. I hope you all get that. So that is the point of our interview. Now, put this at the back of your mind. Not all person you interview will prove your problem statement. I get me. Some interviews will prove your problem statement, not a problem. Now, it is those ones you need to take more attention to. I get me because these people are not seeing your problem as a problem. Now, if you decide to go on, whatever strategy you've now come up with before you even start Figma, now go back to those people and present that strategy to them. Now, if still to them, it is not a problem. Now value the ratio. Which, how many people are saying this as a problem? How many people are saying this as not a problem? If you have a larger ratio of people not seeing that as a problem, drop the project. It is not a project that will work in the market. I get it. Now, if your project is now you have more ratio of people that, so you will know that your feature is not for everybody. Not everybody will use it. It will not be a general feature. The way mute is not a general feature. You understand? Mute, not everybody uses mute. Like Busala said, it is when you offend me, when you make it personal. If we are fighting on a level, even with a fight, I will mute you. You understand? People don't even know that muting is relating to just statuses. When you meet somebody, you can still chat with the person very well. Muting is just for the status. People see mute as I'll mute you and I'll block you. You know, that's to let you know that mute is not for everybody, but it is still a feature. So you can have that in your product. Your product might not be for everybody, might not be for every user, but it is very perfect when those people that don't see it as a problem, you make sure you reach back to them when you already have a strategy that works. I don't think we'll be doing any interview again today because we still have the survey to carry on, but doesn't mean we will not continue. We'll find time to continue, and then we'll do other projects like that. I'm really actually very interested about the GIG logistics. So let me just go to the survey parts, and if we still have time to spare, we can always come back. Please confirm you can see my screen. Is there anybody that wants to say anything before I continue?
Yeah, we can see us. I can see your screen.
Yes, I want
right.
to say that you didn't, since you didn't allow me to do my own interview, we'll be appearing in Justice Court next week. We can continue.
Yeah, so Justice Court to the goal. We have our lawyer, so she help us fight this stuff, but not a spoil.
All right. Oluwajuedalo, your hands are up.
Thank you very much. I don't understand. First off, I want to speak on the corrections. Thank you very much for that correction. But however, I have a question, and the question is: in the case where you said, as you said, I am meeting someone who, okay, a very close example was when we wanted to start this interview. He gave us 2 minutes. Okay, let's now put it in the real sense now. Imagine I'm interviewing someone who I fought to get his attention. It will be, talking too much will be like, oh, boy, you are talking too much, I beg. So you understand? So how can I manage time? How can I manage that time? It's the question. Going in depth, yes, that's how to catch it. Going in depth, that's one. Secondly, this judge court of whatever, I don't understand. Is it some comic stuff, or I don't understand the court thing now?
No, let me answer the second one. The court one,
Okay,
they want
please,
to sue me because I didn't allow them speak. Esther, okay, your answer up.
Yes, I actually wanted to answer his questions. I don't know if I can.
All right. Be brief so I can also give an answer to it.
Okay, so Oluwadun, if I'm not wrong, yes, I actually wanted to even comment on your interview. Actually, yes, I wanted to comment on your interview before now. Just because of our time, though. Yes, I noticed that your time, like I felt you were not so prepared for an interview because, like he told us, for going for an interview, you should have your questions laid out. I felt you didn't even have your question laid out. You were just, trying to remember along the line, okay, I should ask this, I should ask that. There was not already written down question. And the part where you were like, I don't want to ask leading questions, as if you were, I thought you were not so serious with it. Like at some point, I felt so just like a joke, like you just play with the whole stuff. So I felt the seriousness was not really there. In as much as you should relate with the person well, but you should also have this level of professionalism, but cool professionalism. That's what I mean. Then so the best way to work with your time is just to get your question laid out. Like I said, have your questions already. You could have done practice before now. Like it's good for you to practice before now, so you know how you're going to say those things and how you say it, and time yourself best practice before the time of the interview, so that way you'll be more organized and more prepared for the interview. That's one. Then as regards the court, yes, court is actually it's a joke. You must have heard of Justice Court. It's airing on TVC and the rest, where Nigerians go with their problem. and they get the problem get resolved. It's actually a free court section. You don't get to pay for lawyer. You go and speak for yourself in the courts. That's how the court works in Nigeria here. So yeah, that's it.
All right. All right. Okay, let me answer Joedalo. Joedalo has a very valid point because not all people you want to interview would have your time. There was this project one time where their project was to work on how to improve HR work. Now you know who HR are. HR are very busy people. They are busy, real as busy people. So the question is, if I am to carry out a survey, to people like that, how do I do it? Now I already told you guys, do not ask leading questions, and Law passed that because there was no leading question. Now to answer Esther, while you are carrying out your interview, yes, it is okay to have structured questions, but realize that in the interview, some other questions will pop up. I get me. So when somebody is talking, you're not trying to lead the person, you're letting the person flow. Now, if you've successfully made somebody flow, the person would not be conscious about the time because now you're not the one speaking. The person is the one speaking. I get me. I don't know if you've been in a situation whereby you are saying, I don't have time, I have to go. And then the person says something and then you just continue. You are the one now wasting your own time. And the person is not like, they check time. That's exactly what you should turn your interview scenario to. I get me. So now you might, yes, have some questions, but I won't fault Joedalo on the question part because he probably was not aware. Understand? He was not aware. The only thing he knew was this is a practical class. And I think most people, I'm speaking for most people in this situation. So it's not okay if you don't have your question, but it's okay for now if you don't have your question. So before you go for an interview, like I've said, have your structured questions down. Does not mean you will not ask other questions outside, that question. And that's why it is advisable you have a interview partner. So that person records everything. But if you have to do it alone, then you have to record the whole conversation because for an interview, any question can come up. And many answers will come out that would, work for the solution you are building. Now, to answer your question, how do I, approach a situation whereby the person does not have, enough time? Now, this is the thing you are going to be doing. You already have, your questions you want to ask the person down. Now, that means what you need to hit on the head is, before you can get somebody attention like that, you've already introduced yourself. The person has already given you. So skip the introduction parts. Just say, good afternoon, boss. This is somebody that's probably made time for you. Understand? It's like, good afternoon, boss. Sorry for taking your time. I promise you this will be brief. So I work for this. Do not forget to put that because that will just allow them trust you the more. You need to make your interviewer comfortable with disclosing some information, especially if what you are working on is something like specific, like something like HR. You're not asking your HR, how do you work? How do you function? You understand? Like HR will be like, are you okay? Why do you need that information? But if you've told him beforehand, okay, this is what I am doing, understand, to probably help you, they'll be more open, to talking about how they function as an HR, what they do as an HR, and the struggles they're having as an HR. Are you getting me? So you need to tell them that the next thing you want to do is give them a grantor on the topic. This is what I want to do, this and this and this and this and this. Understand? You can now start asking them the questions you've structured down. Okay, this is the first question. Do you use WhatsApp status? Now you don't ask him, do you use WhatsApp? Do you use WhatsApp status? Yes. Do you view from WhatsApp status? Yes. Do you have any problem, with WhatsApp status? No. Okay. Have you ever used the function mute? Understand? It won't be leading. You just ask the question to hear from him. I get me. And the moment you can hear from him once, the next thing you want to do is, especially for people that don't have time, ask for a narrative. Okay, have you ever had an instance where once you ask for a narrative, trust me, you've won the person over because the person will just continue talking. There was people like talking about themselves. That's something you have to realize. So ask them for a narrative. I think it's on the slide. Ask them for a narrative. When they start telling you their story, from what they are saying, you're able to point down some specific things you want. Jordan, am I able to answer your question?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes.
And those of you that want to take me to justice courts, well, me and Chike would, we win the case. We win the case and we'll find you people again. People will have to pay. All right. Moving down to survey. I want to believe okay, Faith, your hand is up before I continue. Faith, please go on.
Okay, yes, good evening. So, concerning the interview, I wanted to ask, for you to avoid asking leading questions, should you like ask question from a general view and lead down to the specific problem you are trying to solve, or you start asking questions from a specific problem? For example, we're talking about WhatsApp. Should you like start from, do you know about WhatsApp, or you start from, do you know about WhatsApp status? Like, please, do you get my question?
Yeah, I do get your question. Now, our problem, what we want to solve is trying to turn off other people's statuses. You understand? That is the cocoa. Now, when you ask the person, do you use WhatsApp? Yes. How often do you use WhatsApp status? You understand?
Okay.
From that question, you're going to say, I use WhatsApp status very often, no, but I don't post though. You see, the person will continue.
Yeah.
But I don't post though. I actually like viewing people's status. Or yeah, I post a lot. I work for a business, and ask, have you ever encountered any issue with like people's statuses? Have they, like Dredalo asked one very valid question I noted down. It's like, the contents you view, have you like seen anyone offensive? Is it everybody's on YouTube? Yes, like it's not leading, but it's like directing. You get, so that's how you go about it. Leading question is when you now start asking, okay, we have the mute button, yes. Now from the mute button, you can just do it, one at a time. Okay, what will you think about a button whereby we just like do everything off? That is leading.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
get me, because the person, you are now asking the person a question, the person do not have time to think about. The person will just like, in the next 3 seconds, yes, actually thinking about it now. But anytime you hear anybody say thinking about it now, the person has not thought about it. The person just wants to answer you and sound nice while answering you. Yeah, thinking about it now, I think it's a good idea. You see, the person, it's not an affirmative stuff, is I think it's a good idea. When you are doing design, make sure you are not thinking, make sure you are specific, especially when you want to present your design. I hope I'm able to answer everybody's question on interview. Is there any other question on interview before I move on to survey? Anybody? All right, that's nice. Now let's move to survey. We already know what survey is, right? What is survey? Survey is when you write. Okay, somebody's hand is up. Go on, go on.
Okay, so what I want to ask, to make our interview more direct, and so that we don't waste time asking quite a number of people who are not relevant to our research, do we have some set of questions too that we can use to screen out those who are relevant and those who are not relevant before we start proceeding with the interview? Because you might get to a point in the interview and realize that these persons are actually not going to help you with your problem statement or in whatever product you're trying to design. So is there a way we can go about it such that we can screen out those who will be relevant for the research and those who will not be relevant for the research, so that we don't waste the people's time and waste our own time and end up spending unproductive hours carrying out a research that will lead nowhere?
All right. Okay, that's a very nice question. And then I think okay, you want to ask people about WhatsApp. You understand? You want to interview somebody you don't know about WhatsApp. The first thing you need to do is, do you use WhatsApp? How often do you use WhatsApp? Once the answer is no, or I don't really use WhatsApp that often, you understand? You should know that you're not going to get anything, more. You're not going to get much thing from that person. So it's either you now end the interview from that place. Oh, okay. Thank you for your time. We actually like looking for people who use WhatsApp a lot, so we can carry out the interview. Sorry for disturbing you, and you leave. There is no problem. The person will not kill you. Or if you still feel like, okay, I feel like there is still something there. So in situations like that, you might want to like ask some leading questions because this person is not somebody that is really often with WhatsApp. But if you want to carry out, data that that people would want to see to validate your business, people like that just don't once you already have your target audience, once you ask them and they don't fall under your category of audience, just stop the interview and move to the next person. Do you understand that? Do you
Yes,
understand?
I do. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Yes, I
Okay,
do.
okay, you're welcome. All right, let's go to um the survey parts. Sorry, that was a mistake. It's supposed to be have a catchy description. Now, when you are having your survey, I want to believe everybody knows what survey is. Survey is when you instead of now interviewing the person, speaking with the person, you are just sending out a form where they fill and you gather your data. So that's a survey. Now, mind you, most times before you carry your survey, you might want to carry your interview. Reason being that from the interview, things get more structured in your head. So once things are more structured, you realize that the initial question you want to ask before, you will feel like, okay, I can redefine this question. I get it. So your interview might just do it inside, inward. People probably want to do something concerning Figma. So your interview just interview people, your designers, your fellow people, you understand? And your interview, that kind of interview will move into like a brainstorming kind of thing. You understand? That way it's going to help you, writing a better survey question. But it's not a convention. You can also have your survey without necessary interviewing. I think my first project, what I did was, the survey first. And then when I did the interview, I had to carry out another survey. For those guys, I think Joeda Law I've known Joeda Law for a while now, and he can attest to that. He was always saying survey on my status at one point in time. Now, how do you get people to fill your survey form? No, the first thing you want to do is the description, because the first thing they want to see, the first thing they will see rather, is the description, which is now going to like encourage them to actually open this survey you've drafted for them. Now the question is, how do we now have a catchy description? How should I go about it? Now, the first thing you want to do is introduce the project briefly. You want to let them know what the survey is about. Don't go up there and say, hello everybody, I am carrying out a survey of 5 to 15 minutes on a project I am working on. What is the project? When you do something like that, it now restricts people that would actually answer that survey, because people that will answer that survey are not people that know you personally and know you're actually working on a project. Like somebody even said yesterday, is when you send it to me personally. Understand? That's when the person will not do it. That means the person already knows the nature of your job, so the person is willing to assist. You get. But in people that don't even know who you are, you want to introduce the project. You want to brief the project. Now, briefing the project does not mean you are not telling them what you want to do. You are giving them all the things they need to know, and they working on that same project you are working on. Understand? What you want to do is make it very brief. Understand? We're going to have one on that WhatsApp. I'm going to quickly do one. The next thing you want to do is make the problem personal to your audience. By personal, I mean make sure it is relatable. You would only want to solve a problem you relate to. I get me. It's like a white person saying Black Lives Matter. To them, they are like, okay. But when you now say all life matter, you see them, yes, all life matter. You understand? When you make the problem personal to your audience, it attracts them more. I get me. You only attract somebody that relates, especially when it's a survey. Because this time around, you're not even speaking, you don't even know the person, you're not seeing the person. So the only thing you can do, or the one effective thing you can do, is make sure that the what's it called? The description is catchy, very catchy and personal to them. They now feel the need. This thing is a problem. If me actually answering this question will bring a solution to it one way or the other, please, I want to do it. Are you getting me? In fact, from the survey, you still see people. Do you want to interview me? Because this is a problem I face, and if you guys can bring a solution to it, why am I not to help? You get. Your description should be very brief. Should not be more than 7 lines. Will not be more than 7 lines. Once you're having 9 lines, 10 lines, it's too long. People will lose focus and move on. When you're writing your description, don't assume everybody can read. Don't assume everybody has a high focus level. Imagine people don't have a focus level. So as short as it is, you want to make it concise and have the package and everything. The last thing you want to do is indicate the time to take to complete the task. Are you getting me? People want to know, oh yeah, how long is it? When you're not telling them a 1 minute survey, people will be more open. Are you getting me? But when you don't write anything, they will like, oh, I can relate, but it's a waste of time. I don't want to waste my time. I have other things I am doing. You get, but you are telling them, I'm just taking 1 minute from your time. I'm just taking 2 minutes. It's just a 3 to 5 minutes survey. You understand? That would also, encourage them to continue. Do anybody have a question before we now have the real practical class? Um and I have a survey description for the WhatsApp we are just talking about. Do anybody have any question on the survey description? Any question? All right, no question. Okay, while you're writing your description, you also want to make sure your grammar is on point, because the grammar is going to, if you have a wrong grammar, it's going to piss people off. So I would recommend Grammarly. For those of us that uses Grammarly, just go to Grammarly. Let me see if I can share my current screen. Okay, give me a minute. Go to Grammarly. So from Grammarly, you can also always what's it called? You can also always confirm that your grammar are on points, and then there is no need to worry about it working or not. All right, give me a minute to share my current tab. Are you still seeing the same screen? Are you guys there?
No, we're not seeing the
No,
same
we're not
screen.
seeing now.
A new screen?
Yeah, how to catch. Okay, two screens. User interview techniques and
All right, give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Okay, you are now okay. All right.
same screen, same screen.
All right. Okay, are you on Grammarly now? What are you saying? What are you guys saying now?
Grammar checker.
Grammar checker. What are you guys saying? You're saying.
Yeah, that's the Quillbot for Chrome, the grammar checker.
Quillbox for
All right.
Chrome.
Good. Now we're at Grammarly, right? So now this is what we want to do. I want to have a practical session on how to go about your description writing for surveys. Now, like I've said, make the introduction brief. You can now say WhatsApp is a very popular application used by so you've introduced your topic that way, and people now know what the survey is about in a way. Are you guys following?
Yeah.
All right. Now they already know that the survey is about WhatsApp. Are you getting? So this is what the introduction should look like. You can have a better grammar and all. Understand? When people say WhatsApp is a very popular application. Okay, yes, it's a very popular application. Now the next thing you want to do is introduce the problem statement and making it personal. But
Please, is Tony saying anything?
He's writing something. He might not. I don't think he's talking,
No,
but he's writing something. He's making changes to his work.
I
Okay.
am.
Oh,
I am not at the moment. All right. Now, do you see what I just did now? I just did the whole four thing in one. Now, we are to improve what's it called, WhatsApp status, right? And that's what we want to do. Now, the first thing is introduce the project briefly. WhatsApp is a very popular application used by a lot of people. This has successfully introduced the project you're working on. So now people already have the idea that, oh, it's working on WhatsApp. Are you getting me? So people that uses WhatsApp will be more drawn by this time. You understand? With this brief, you've already filtered people out. So people that don't use WhatsApp, the moment they see WhatsApp is a very, they are most likely not to continue. And those that continue would will not probably feel the. Sorry. So can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Sorry about that. Yes. Now we want to make what's it called, the problem personal to them. Now you see, but some people still face some problems in using the application, which make it very stressful. We are working on a project to make your experience very easy. That way, you've already make them relate in a way that, oh, okay, these people are trying.
Hello, I stopped hearing you. Or is it just
To
me? I can hear you now.
hello. All right. So you're making them know that the end result of this thing I am working on right now is going to like improve something you use. Are you getting me? And then at the end, you're now telling them, please complete this 2 to 5 minute survey. Do you get that? You can see that you will notice that the number of people you will attract with that description, it will be more than the number of people you will attract when you are telling them, I have this I'm working on a project. I have this 4 to 5 minute survey. Please kindly answer. Your next status, you're not starting saying, please, I beg, I use God beg you. Well, that is not necessarily wrong. Sometimes you want to generate some kind of traffic so that people would um so that people would hello, can you guys hear me?
Loud and
Yes.
clear.
We can. Yes,
Right.
can hear you.
I want to confirm you can. So this description you've just given is going to make people more interested, especially people that uses the WhatsApp, make them more interested in filling the survey. Are you getting me? Do anybody have question before we round up for today?
Yes, I have a question.
All right, please go on.
Okay. Let's say you are not solving a problem for an app that, like WhatsApp now, you know that people uses WhatsApp. So let's say you are designing any product. Are you going to go about the description that will
What do you say?
attract?
Come again, sorry.
Okay. Let's say WhatsApp is already an existing product, but you just want to improve on the feature. Let's say you
Yeah.
are let's say you are designing a new product that is not existing, but you want to design it and you want to make a survey. You want to do the description that will make people be attracted and fill the form. Are you going to go about the description?
All right, that's a very nice question. What if we are trying to work on, something that um is new to the market, like WhatsApp is new. Okay, let's take a project like time management, right? How many application on time management do you guys know? Do anybody know any application on time management? Good. Now, that's to tell you that a lot of people don't know that they don't use time management application, because majorly in Nigeria there is no time management application that relates to Nigerians. So most people that uses it are people that are abroad, overseas, and everything. Now you are working on a project like that. I believe that's your question. What if we are working on something that does not already have an established, how do we do the introduction and get people interested, right? Now now for projects like that, it is new to the market, so you can't start with the way I started. WhatsApp is a very popular application because, well, you are just starting. Now you start with time. Is always a problem. I know. What's the grammar you can use? You want to brief them. Now you want to brief them. Time has always been, time is money, right? Time is money, and with every time spent, there is always a money spent. With poor management of time, now you've introduced to them. Now they already know you're working on something relating to time. I get me. They don't know what it is yet. And I'm saying, with everybody has a lot of things to do, and then sometimes realize they can't catch up with the time to do it and end up having an unproductive day. You've successfully done the second thing. Make the problem personal to them. They're not like, oh yes, actually I can relate. I feel like everybody can relate with that. Like, yeah, sometimes I won't be productive because of time. I just realized time has gone. I get me. We are working on a project that would help you keep track of every task at every stipulated time you've assigned for it, and ensure you get things done. We are working on the solution, we are working on a solution that says that blah blah blah. I say this survey, kindly take this 2 to 5 minutes survey to help us improve on the solution. Do you get that, Fitz?
Yes, thank you.
So that what you just want to do is those steps, just follow those steps. Introduce the topic, let them know what you're working on. I get me. It might just be like, in a line, might just be a line, just to give them a background, idea. It's like when you are doing the interview and you're telling them, okay, we are working on WhatsApp. You get that kind of thing. So they already know that the interview is based on WhatsApp, that kind of thing. So you are giving them a background check that this survey you're about to fill is pertaining to this. I get me. That introduction also help you filter. Imagine a situation where you're having a survey for landlords. In a survey like that, you don't want any other person to fill it, because if a tenant fills the survey for landlord, it means your data is irrelevant. I get me. So now your introduction should make them know who the survey is for. I get me. So when they see the survey, okay, time management, can I relate? No, they move on. Can I relate? Yes, fill the survey. Are you getting me? The next thing is now make it a problem for them. Make sure that they are feeling the problem. Are you getting me? Make the problem personal to them. So they're not like, true, actually, you know what? Let me just spare 3 to 5 minutes of my time feeling it. Do we get that? Do we all
Yes,
get that?
Yes, sir.
yes, we do.
Yes,
All
we
right.
do.
Is there any person with a question before we wrap today?
Okay, I have something to say.
All right.
It's actually about the survey. I don't know, I guess I'm the only one. Not as much as I felt like I didn't really understand the whole thing you said about the survey and the checker. Like, is checker the only we're allowed to use any app now, like any stuff to generate our survey, right? I think you use checker also. I think I didn't get that part. I don't know how come I didn't get it.
All right. What I did there is not even for survey. What I used was Grammarly just to correct the grammar. You get I said while you're writing the description, make sure it is grammar error free. I get me. So what I just used was Grammarly. You don't even use that app for surveys. What I just did was to check the grammar I was using, the pronunciation, the spelling, and everything. Do you get that, Esther?
Okay. So we should advising us to always use Grammarly to check,
Yeah,
right?
yes, I'm advising you to always use Grammarly. If you have other applications you use to check your grammar, it's better you use it because you want to sound professional at the same time. So it's going to help you sound professional in a way, and then correct every grammatic blunder you might have. You get.
Okay. It makes sense
So
now. Thank you.
you're welcome. So that's what that was about. You understand? So once you've drafted your stuff down, you can now go to whatever application you want to use for the form, maybe Google Forms. I think the most popular one is Google Forms. You can now go to your Google Forms, you will see the description. The description will be the first thing there. Right? The description, you now start filling other places for the questions. Once you are done, copy the link, send it out. I get me. For people that don't know how to use Google Forms, just reach out in the group. Other people will be able to like assist you. And if you don't get response, Chike's DM and my DM are always open to help you guys. You guys get that?
Yes, we do. Thank you.
Esther, you
Yes, I do. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Chike, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right. I think I am from my end. I am done. So before, just so you know, Chike, they want to take us to court. Oh. They say they want to arrest us.
It's not just any kind of court, but goodness court. We have to be specific about it.
Goodness, yes. They say we should be specific. They are taking us to goodness courts. Chike, I hope you are ready.
Maka, why?
Ask them. Oh, they shall want to carry us go courts. They talk still because we don't allow them do interview. They go arrest us. You specifically, actually.
Okay. You mean to do like a live interview, right?
Yes, some people did it. Some people couldn't because of time. And the people that were not opportune to do, they want to carry us go courts.
Okay, it's just the learning now. It's just the learning that is the main thing. So once you've gotten the learning, you can always do your own interview. Like you can always call somebody. Even if you want to interview me, you can call me. I'll be your participant.
Okay, Chike is willing. Call Chike, do your interview Chike, and let's say Faith, your hand is up before Chike now finally give us the closing remark.
I asked about creating chats, and I wanted you to like give the name of the chat, the plugin. The first class.
That for me.
Anybody.
Okay, I think it's for me. I told you there is a plugin for importing the chat. Let me go and look for it.
You on Figma, so you create chat on Figma.
Yes.
I think it's Chatmaker. Chatmaker. There's one called Chatmaker. I'm not even sure that it is because I have a lot of it.
Okay. I'll just do the WhatsApp chat.
Sorry, come again.
I said I'll just remind you for the name in the WhatsApp group.
Okay, all right, no wala. I would look for it for you. Okay, it is not chat maker. Okay, it is NB chats. NB chats. NB chats. Yes, N and B.
Okay, all right, thank you.
NB chats. So that way you can, yeah, that's it. Check out
Okay.
NB chats to be able to make every of your survey. You have to be able to import it into Figma. All right, Chike, over to you.
Well, I don't have a closing remark, but let's just still remember that the group, I've already grouped it. I'm just trying to do a little bit of presentation. And each
Is it just me? I can't hear Chike very well.
Yes, it's Western.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sometimes, sir.
Chike, you sound far away from the phone.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Like, what I'm saying is, like I said, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay. So what I was saying is, like I said, we are going to be sharing. I've already grouped it. I've already grouped everybody. I think it's a group of 4 or 5. Right? I think it's 4. It's 4. So that we'll get to learn how to work together. We'll also be accountable for each other, and each group is going.
We can't hear you.
Chike, we lost you. At we were talking about each group. Chike. All right. I believe what I was about to say was concerning the grouping. So aside from the fact that you guys will be, basically working on any projects that's been assigned to you together, you also have to be accountable for yourself. Because once what's it called, the commitment is induced, or before the commitment is induced, you now have to, like, you are going to obviously have a lead, a team lead. So the team lead will be accountable for, every other person. So you need to ensure that everybody is in the class. You need to ensure that everybody is being carried along. Especially when we now get to the practical aspect of the class, when we start using Figma, or you need to make sure that everybody understood what is in the class, and everybody is getting their hands dirty. So on your CV, you can now put it there. I was responsible for this, I did that. I believe that's what Chike was trying to let us know. So it goes beyond just a brainstorming space for you guys. It also moves to a responsibility phase for you guys. So you would get the feeling of working in an organization. You understand the experience of working like an organization. So when you now start working in an organization, especially when it's now remote, you know how to behave and how to handle yourself, because those people, you won't know them, as you don't know most of the people here. Esther.
Yes, sorry, I just wanted to know, for some strange reasons, I'll call it strange, I did not get to fill the form. So I wanted to know, the grouping email, was it based on those that filled the form?
Wow, I'm not even sure about that, because he's not responsible for the form.
Okay.
You can just ask him from the group chats. I believe it's everybody is grouping. I believe it's everybody, regardless. I believe it's everybody. So you meet yourself in groups with I think it will be a group of 4 people, 4 to 5 in each group. So from that, you guys need to introduce yourself. We won't do that for you. Introduce yourself. After introducing yourself, you need to select a lead. You need to pick a lead based on however criteria you guys want. and then from there we would, tend to communicate with everybody and then the projects. So by the time you are done here, you already have, a lot of case studies, you already have a portfolio, and you are good to go. So is there any
Okay.
other person? Any
Thank you so
question?
much.
You're welcome. Is there any other person with any question before we now, call it a day? Nobody. All right. You guys should have a nice day. Rest, enjoy your day. Tomorrow is Monday, and then attack every obstacle that come your way
Don't
as a
like the
pro.
sound of that.
Um,
Tomorrow is Monday.
Thank you,
to,
sir. Thank you
tomorrow,
for everything.
you're welcome.
Thank you
Tomorrow
so
is
much. You're
Thank
such
you.
a
Thank you very much.
nice coach. Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
I need to also have a nice day.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
And yes, thank you everybody. Thank you everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Like on me, say many try. But I dey pray for my enemies and truly, and I dey pray for my kids, that's my best. Pray for the friends I lost. Pray you never see no loss. Yeah, on pressure, we don't pressure. I don't see the pressure make man run compared so make it evil. I go judge and regret them. With man pressure, I got it. I still get control. My brother make you know. Life what I daily say, I daily I'm on the low. Hustle every day, I'm really just trouble. Never buy the money, man.